GTA is nothing without its gangs and teams. Today, I'm gonna tell you real-life story behind every GTA gang. Starting with everyone's favorite, Grove Street. The developers at Rockstar Games drew heavy inspiration from the Crips, one of LA's most notorious street gangs. Founded in the late 1960s, the Crips originated in south-central Los Angeles, the very area that San Andreas's Los Santos is based on. Just like Grove Street rocks their signature green, the Crips are known for wearing blue. Both gangs have a complex history tied to their neighborhoods. The Crips started as a way to protect their community but eventually became involved in illegal activities. This mirrors the Grove Street family's story, where they begin as neighborhood protectors before getting caught up in the drug trade and rival gang conflicts. The hierarchy and structure of Grove Street also reflect real-life gang dynamics. You've got leaders like Sweet, who calls the shots, similar to how actual gang leaders operate. The focus on territory, respect, and loyalty are all themes pulled straight from real street gang culture. Alright, let's shift focus and talk about the Ballas, Grove Street's purple-clad rivals in the GTA universe. Just like Grove Street has its real-world counterpart, the Ballas take their cues from another major LA gang, the Bloods. The Bloods formed in LA in the early 1970s, partly as a response to the growing influence of the Crips. This rivalry between Bloods and Crips is mirrored in the constant beef between Ballas and Grove Street families in San Andreas. It's that classic red versus blue conflict, except in GTA. They switched up the colors to purple and green. Location-wise, the Ballas' turf in Los Santos lines up pretty closely with areas where you'd find blood sets in real-life LA. Both groups are known for their strong presence in certain neighborhoods, and they take that territory stuff seriously. The Blood's signature color is red, and while the Ballas rock purple instead, you can see how Rockstar tweaked that to fit their fictional world. They kept that vibrant, instantly recognizable color coding that real gangs use to represent. Just like with the Crips' inspiration, Rockstar pulled from the Blood's structure and activities to flesh out the Ballas. The focus on drug dealing, turf wars, and building a reputation all come from real-world gang dynamics. It's worth mentioning that GTA cranks everything up to 11 for dramatic effect. Real gang life isn't as action-packed or glamorous as the game makes it seem. Next, Vagos, the yellow-clad gang that adds some Latino flavor to the streets of Los Santos. These guys are GTA's take on another real-world gang phenomenon, drawing inspiration from the Sureños of Southern California. The Vagos, like their real-world counterparts, rep the Hispanic gang culture hard in the GTA universe. In the game, you'll find them holding down their turf in East Los Santos, which mirrors how actual Latino gangs operate in East LA and surrounding areas. Now, the Sureños aren't just one gang. They're more like a coalition of Hispanic street gangs across Southern California. These groups all pay tribute to the Mexican Mafia, a powerful prison gang. GTA simplifies this complex network into the Vagos, making them one large, unified gang for the sake of the game's narrative. Color-wise, the Vagos rock yellow, which is a bit different from the Sureños' signature blue. But the idea of a strong color identity remains the same. In the real world, that blue is a big deal. It represents loyalty to the Mexican Mafia and distinguishes Sureños from their rivals up north. The Vagos' activities in GTA, stuff like drug trafficking, arms dealing, and territorial beefs, all draw from real Sureño operations. These gangs are known for their involvement in street-level crime and their ongoing conflicts with rival groups, especially African American and other Hispanic gangs not aligned with the Sureños. Rockstar also nails the language aspect. The Vagos in GTA often speak in a mix of English and Spanish, throwing in a lot of Chicano slang. This reflects the real linguistic blend you'd hear in Latino neighborhoods in LA. The hierarchy in the Vagos, with shot callers and foot soldiers, mirrors the structure of real street gangs. However, GTA 5 doesn't really get into the prison connection that's super important for actual Sureño gangs. The Mexican Mafia's influence from behind bars is a big deal in reality, but that's a bit too complex for the game's narrative. Aztecas, the blue-clad Mexican gang that adds another layer to Los Santos' intricate web of street crews. These guys draw their inspiration from the real-world 18th Street gang, bringing a unique flavor to the GTA universe. In the game, The Aztecas are portrayed as a smaller, tight-knit Mexican street gang. They're known for their strict code of conduct and strong sense of loyalty, which sets them apart from some of the other crews in Los Santos. This mirrors aspects of the 18th Street Gang, which, despite its size in reality, is known for its strong internal structure and discipline. The real 18th Street Gang, also known as Barrio 18 or La 18, actually originated in the Rampart area of Los Angeles. It's one of the largest transnational criminal gangs, with a significant presence not just in LA, but across the United States and Central America. GTA scales this down, making the Aztecas a more localized presence in Los Santos. One interesting parallel is how both the Aztecas and the 18th Street Gang stand out from other Hispanic gangs in their respective universes. In reality, the 18th Street Gang is known for accepting members from various backgrounds, not just those of Mexican descent. This multi-ethnic approach made them unique among LA's Latino gangs. While GTA doesn't dive deep into this aspect, the Aztecas' distinct identity among Los Santos's gangs reflects this real-world uniqueness. The Aztecas' activities in the game, things like drug trafficking, arms dealing, and street-level crime, are pretty much ripped from the playbook of real street gangs like the 18th Street. However, GTA tones down the scale and international reach that the real gang has developed over the years. In terms of territory, you'll find the Aztecas mainly in the poorer neighborhoods of Los Santos. This reflects how the 18th Street Gang started in economically disadvantaged areas of LA, though in reality, they've expanded far beyond their original turf. The strict code of conduct that defines the Aztecas in the game is an interesting touch. While all gangs have rules, the emphasis on this for the Aztecas might be Rockstar's way of nodding to the structured nature of more established criminal organizations. In reality, the 18th Street Gang is known for its organized structure and ability to operate both in and out of prison systems. Marabunta Grande. In GTA 5, the Marabunta Grande is portrayed as a Salvadoran gang, and this directly mirrors the real MS-13's roots. MS-13 was actually formed in Los Angeles in the 1980s by Salvadoran immigrants, many of whom were fleeing civil war back home. Rockstar captures this immigrant background in their fictional counterpart, giving the Marabunta Grande a distinct identity among Los Santos's gangs. One of the defining features of MS-13 is its reputation for extreme violence, and GTA doesn't shy away from this aspect with the Marabunta Grande. In the game, they're known for being particularly ruthless, which is a direct nod to MS-13's real-world notoriety. However, it's worth noting that the game, while graphic, still tones down the reality of gang violence for obvious reasons. The Marabunta Grande's involvement in drug trafficking in GTA 5 is another element pulled straight from MS-13's playbook. In reality, MS-13 is deeply involved in the drug trade, using it as a major source of income. The game simplifies these operations, but the core idea remains the same. One interesting aspect that GTA touches on is the gang's rivalries. In the game, Marabunta Grande beefs with other Los Santos gangs, which reflects the real MS-13's complex web of alliances and enemies. In reality, MS-13 has been known to clash with other Hispanic gangs, African-American gangs, and even other Salvadoran groups. The international nature of MS-13 is something that GTA 5 doesn't fully explore with the Marabunta Grande. In reality, MS-13 operates across Central America and has a presence in many US cities. The game keeps things more localized to Los Santos, but you can still get a sense of the gang's foreign origins. Visually, the Marabunta Grande members in GTA 5 often sport tattoos and dress in a style that's reminiscent of real MS-13 members. The extensive tattoos, often including facial tattoos, are a signature of MS-13, and Rockstar incorporates this into their fictional version, the Lost MC. In the GTA universe, the Lost MC is portrayed as a once powerful biker gang that's fallen on hard times. This struggle for relevance and power is a key part of their story, especially in GTA 4 and 5. It's a narrative that mirrors the changing landscape for real outlaw motorcycle clubs, which have faced increased law enforcement pressure and shifting cultural attitudes over the years. The core activities of the Lost MC, things like drug trafficking, arms dealing, and territorial disputes, are pulled straight from the playbook of real outlaw motorcycle clubs. The Hells Angels, in particular, have been associated with these kinds of illegal activities throughout their history. though it's important to note that the real organization disputes many of these claims. One aspect that GTA nails is the club structure. Like real MCs, The Lost has a strict hierarchy with a president, vice president, and other ranked members. They also have chapters in different cities, mirroring how real outlaw clubs operate across multiple territories. This structure is crucial to both the real and fictional club's operations and sense of identity. The biker lifestyle depicted in GTA, the love for motorcycles, the clubhouses, the patches on their jackets, all draw from real biker culture. The sense of brotherhood and loyalty within the club, despite internal conflicts, is also a key feature that reflects real MCs. These organizations often describe themselves as fraternities, emphasizing the deep bonds between members. Outlaw motorcycle clubs have a long history of territorial disputes with other clubs and run-ins with the law. The game dramatizes these conflicts, turning them into high-octane action sequences, but the underlying tension is based on real dynamics. The internal struggles within the Lost MC, particularly the leadership conflicts we see in the games, also have parallels in the real world. Outlaw MCs have experienced their share of internal power struggles and splits over the years, though these are often less dramatic and more complex than what we see in GTA. The Triads. In the GTA series, the Triads are portrayed as a force to be reckoned with. Influential, well-organized, and deeply entrenched in various illegal activities. This mirrors the real-world reputation of triad societies, which have a long and complex history in China and Chinese communities worldwide. The game's depiction of triad activities hits pretty close to home. Drug trafficking, extortion, gambling operations, and smuggling are all part of the Triads portfolio in GTA. And these are indeed areas where real triad groups have been known to operate. The game simplifies and dramatizes these operations, but the core idea remains rooted in reality. Triads influence beyond just street-level crime. In the game, you'll often see triad characters with connections to legitimate businesses and even local politics. This reflects the real-world triads' ability to blur the lines between the underworld and the upper world, often operating behind seemingly legitimate fronts. The structure of the triads in GTA also draws from reality. While the game doesn't dive too deep into the complex hierarchies of real triad societies, it does present an organization with clear leadership and a strong sense of loyalty and tradition. This nods to the real triads' emphasis on brotherhood and their use of rituals and codes. GTA's triads are often depicted as being in conflict with other criminal groups, which is another reflection of reality. In the real world, triad societies have been known to clash with other organized crime groups over territory and business interests. The game turns these conflicts into action-packed missions, but the underlying tension is based on real dynamics. The game also touches on the international nature of triad operations. While mostly focused on specific cities in the GTA universe, there are often hints of broader connections, mirroring how real triad societies operate across borders, particularly in areas with significant Chinese populations. Leone family. So the Leone family in GTA, these guys are basically Rockstar's nod to the Gambino crime family. You know, one of those big New York Mafia families you've probably heard about in movies. The game developers took that classic Italian-American organized crime vibe and ran with it. They looked at how the Gambinos operated, the family structure, the various rackets they had going, the whole respect and loyalty thing, and used that as a blueprint for the Leones. It's like they thought, what if we took that New York Mafia energy and dropped it into our game world? That's how you end up with Don Salvatore Leone and his crew running things in Liberty City. Now, onto the Yakuza in GTA. For these dudes, Rockstar drew inspiration from real Japanese crime syndicates, especially the Yamaguchi-gumi. They took that image of the tattooed, suited-up Japanese gangster and brought it into the game. The developers picked up on stuff like how the real Yakuza are involved in all sorts of business, both legit and shady. They noticed how these groups have this weird mix of being criminals, but also having this cultural significance in Japan. All that got blended into GTA's version of the Yakuza. Basically, Rockstar looked at these real-world crime groups, took the parts that make them unique and interesting, and then cranked everything up a notch for the game. It's like they're saying, here's our take on these infamous organizations, but with that classic GTA twist. Aight, we are done. Subscribe to the channel if you are a GTA fan and want to do something with your GTA content hunger while waiting for GTA 6. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care and have a nice day.